Word up. Well, gotta change the game a little bit. Can't ride right now, so I've been sitting on my butt. If you guys saw my previous video, I had surgery, I broke my clavicle. So I'm trying to figure out other things to do, and of course I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, and I decided, well, for 2 months I can't ride, fish, basically work out, do anything, so I need something to take up my time. So I picked up a car. Found this thing listed on Facebook Marketplace for about 10 grand, and I offered him what I offered him, and he accepted it. We worked out a deal, and I got it for a great price. It definitely needs some work. The paint is not terrific. I don't know if you can see it, but paint's definitely faded in some spots, and it needs some love. He must live where there's some mud, because it's all over the car. But my goal is to make it look pretty decent and bring it back to life. I think eventually I will more than likely paint it, but plans for it are to just get everything working right on it, and I'm gonna definitely lower it, because I don't know if you see the stance. But that stance is like super jacked, so looks like a 4-wheel drive vehicle. So we're gonna lower it, put some different wheels on it, probably space the back wheels out a little bit. Motor wise I probably won't do too much, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I get it looking good, and we'll paint it eventually. I don't know if I said that. The inside of this thing is actually in super good shape. So I mean, it ain't perfect, of course, but for a car that was built in 1998, I think it's pretty good overall. It's got 84,000 miles on it, and it runs well. I think I'm probably gonna need to swap out the transmission here at some point, but for now it runs, it drives, and it's got great power. So I'm pretty excited about all of it. So, oh, I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the video, but the 96 to 98 Cobra is the car from high school that was like my dream car. Anyways, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna basically just kind of record the process of getting it all prepped and ready and looking pretty, and then we're gonna hit up some car shows soon, so let's go. Oh, I totally forgot to film the whole process today. That was my goal. Oh gosh. Occasionally with this surgery site, I don't know if it's pulling on the surgery site or what, but anyways, I got everything vacuumed out. The exterior is washed. I was gonna start working on polishing today, but with this thing, I need to take it easy, and I'm not taking it easy. So, but here's what we got so far. I think it looks pretty good. Bad at all for what I paid for it. I think I got a good deal, and once I get it polished up, honestly, I probably won't I don't know if I'll even paint it for quite some time. Alright, well, today well, first we're starting with the coffee, and then we're gonna do some clay barring. I'm hoping to buff and wax this thing, but I did not wake up in time, and it's super hot. So unless it gets cloudy later, I might not be doing the wax and polish today. We'll see. There's a little spray bottle. Those guys. Perfect. I don't know if you can see on camera, but the paint is not great. But I'm gonna do what I can for a while, and then eventually it's gonna need a paint job. This is the worst part, which it's in the shade, but if you can see in the sun. You can see all the imperfections that came off of that. You can literally see the difference in paint just from doing the clay bar. Like, This paint's so bad, but I think it's gonna look okay when I'm done. This is the side that I've done. You probably can't tell, but like a lot of the white imperfections that were on, it's probably like paint or something like that, but on this side, it's all over the place. So just from clay barring, it already looks so much better. This has been clay barred, just wiped, and then this has not been clay barred. So you can see all the little imperfections everywhere. That's just a little bit of overspray right there from me, but you can see a pretty definitive line of what looks good and what doesn't. I forgot I had a mustache. God, I look horrible. Well, I lost all train of thought. So now I got a place to work and can stay cool, and maybe someday I'll minimize what I have in the garage. I got way too much stuff. So all of the clay barring's done. The paint is in much better shape, for sure. We are moving on to the polishing. I mean, you can see like this is just needs to be wiped off, but I think it's gonna come out pretty good. I bought this little guy off Amazon. Love Amazon. So it's a little off-center orbital. So we're gonna see how it works. I'm gonna start with the top of the car and see what progress we can make, because that's by far the worst of the paint. So we'll see how it goes. So I'll say it came out a little bit better. Let's hit it again. I think it definitely came out a lot better than it was. Hoping you can see this. So this side's been done here, and this side hasn't. I don't know if you can tell, man, it's so hard to see, but the difference in color from this to that is huge. Like a whole nother shade of black. And I've only done one cut on it. I think I'll do two on the hood. I don't know if you're able to tell on camera for the color difference between the two. That's been cut twice and it's got a wax on it, and it is like a deep black, where this is like a faded black on this side. So I'm gonna do that to the rest of the car tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty dang happy. It's gonna look really good when it's done. All right, it's day 3 of detailing, and super happy with how things are turning out right now. Let's take a look at what we got. I don't know if you can tell. It's so hard to tell on the camera, but this has been cut twice, this area, and then I'm gonna slide over. And this has not been touched yet. So I don't know if you can tell if that shows what it looks like. And maybe just look at the reflection of the camera and see. But it seems to be a lot, well, it doesn't seem to be, it is a lot better. That black is super deep, it's coming through. So super stoked about it. It's so much better. Okay, I'm hurting. Oh, compound's finished. It looks good. It's got a lot of wax dust on it, but take it around. Just finish the bumper. Looks pretty good. The roof's the only thing that it's not great, but you know, I tried. So back of it looks real good. Super busty right now, but man, what a difference. I'm so tired. It's enough to do this with 2 hands, but to do it with 1 hand the entire time was difficult. Yeah, I'm hurting really bad, but it looks phenomenal. So she is washed, waxed, detailed, cut, buffed, polished, all that different stuff. I'd have to go and do a few, you know, fine things here and there because there's some leftover wax. But it looks so good. I mean, for what, 26 years, almost 27 years old right now. I guess it depends on when it was built. But yeah, it looks really good, especially compared to what it looked like when I got it. I mean, it wasn't in bad shape, but it hadn't been taken care of. So not the way that I take care of cars. I don't know if you can tell by my pretty little TRD over there, but I like my stuff to look really good. So all right, well, I got more stuff to do tomorrow, but for the most part we're pretty good. So all right, we are all squared away. I got the license plate on, ready to roll. We're legal. I gotta get used to pulling the key back out of my pocket because I got a push start on the what do you call it over there, the 4Runner. So let's start her up. So this is my really my first test drive out with it. I drove it when I bought it, but this will be the first time really like going out in it. So far it rides pretty good. I went up and got fuel. I definitely missed driving stick, that's for sure. It's just, I don't care if it's slower than the new cars, it's way more fun. I don't know, the paddle shift thing seems, I don't know, maybe it's fun, I don't know. But it's not as fun as having a clutch. Personal preference. I wouldn't say I'm old school, but I guess I'm older school than a lot of people. But I'll give it a little gas so you can hear it. Hopefully camera stays still. Let's confirm that. Alright, well, I can't get on it. There's a cop. Sounds good though, man. So what are we doing today? I'm gonna work on the headlights today. I just got back from my post-op checkup and they said stuff was pretty good. Everything's working good. They redid some of my stuff here. I'll put my x-ray up here in just a second. There's a ton of, you can see all the screws. I got 8 screws and then wiring that runs around the bone and a whole bunch of stuff. So positive news is I will be back. Negative news is it's gonna be like 11 more weeks until I'm fully good to go. So thank God for the car because it's gonna keep me busy. I got tons of stuff to do to it. So should have gotten a before shot, but these tanks, like that's what this whole tank looked like here. But if you've ever owned a SN95, you know the tank's visible. So getting it to be black and shiny, which I haven't shined it yet, makes the whole back end look better. I'll take a shot of it in a minute, but that's what the tank looked like when I started cleaning. I should have gotten the before shot, but I forgot. Onto the leather. Oh, it looks so much better. This thing's gonna be ready for a car show soon. So I'm super duper pumped. I got a killer deal online. My neighbor Bob sent me a link for new headlamps and corner markers. And so I sent the guy a message. Turns out he was restoring a 97 Cobra and has a bunch of other parts. So I ended up picking up all of this. Where's my daughter? Say hi.
And lunch.
And lunch, and lunch. I picked up all of this for 170 bucks. So new headlamps and corner markers. He gave me the serpentine belt. SVT badge, which that's $45 by itself online. That's insane. And then progressive springs. So drop the front 1.5 inches and the back 1 inch. So 170 bucks for all of this. Killer deal. These alone I think are $250. That's $45. I don't know what that price is on this, and then I think these are around maybe 100-ish. It might be more than that. So pretty pumped. I'm gonna get all this on hopefully this week is my goal. So we should have a pretty good looking car, and then eventually I'm gonna find some wheels. There we go. Here's the start. So you can see the difference in the two headlights. That's the new one. That's the old one, obviously you can tell. So in the old one, this little piece fit onto here and locked in, but the new one doesn't seem like it, but I don't really think you need it. So I'm gonna try it without it. And it seems to work just fine, so look at the difference in that. So much cleaner. And it definitely looks 1,000 times better than it did. So just for comparison, man, I can barely hold it with my left hand. So that's old, that's new, much cleaner. All right, next up on today's list is using a hair dryer because I don't have a heat gun, and pulling the old badging off. I'm gonna put some tape up here that will let us know where our spot is, and then we're gonna wipe it all off. So if you're ever doing this, spray your stuff on the rag, not all over the car. And you just kind of go back and forth until it comes off. All right, putting the new badge on here. And I think we're pretty solid there. It's just the little touches like that make it look that much better. Blue oval looks great. That don't look great. All right, I got the camper off to consignment, so I got plenty of space in the garage now. Boat's outside, but we are getting ready to lower the car. Got the lowering spring, says about 1.5 inches. I got some wheel spacers because that back wheel is so far in. And then we got caster camber plates here. Hopefully I can put those in. I'm a little nervous about it. And then I'm waiting on the second set of these for the front. So we're gonna start with the backs first, but check out the garage now. I got space to work. I got my guide up here, help me out, so. I had to use a breaker bar on this one because it's so tight on the other side. The only thing that'll get it loose was the breaker bar and some PB blaster. There we go. Come on. Ah, there we go. All right, those are disconnected now. Sweet. Holy crap, what a pain. So everything was pretty smooth until trying to get a new spring in. And as you can see, I made my own spring compressor because it was not going in. Very frustrating for the last probably 30-40 minutes for me to try to figure out how to get that in there. But it's in. What a nightmare. Got it up in there. Man, I've been fighting with the other side forever. And for like 20 minutes, I was like, why don't I just try a ratchet strap? And I was like, no, there's no way that'll work. And sure enough, it did. Ratchet strap for the win. Now I just gotta get it out of here. So this is what the isolators look like. So I'm glad I got new ones, and hopefully the front ones come tonight. Alright, wheel spacers on. Looks better anyways, so let's get the wheel on. You can see how rusted these things are. Gotta clean all that up so it fits. Just gotta torque them to about 100 pounds. My hair looks great. So there's a little snubber kind of thing that sits above. It's not the drive, I don't know, it's either the drive shaft or the rear end, I can't remember, but basically it keeps it from bumping, you know, the chassis from bumping into it. So, but you got to put a smaller one on when you lower it. So I'm gonna do that now. A little tight on there. It's always nice to have a vise. And that's the old guy. New guy, much smaller. I could feel it when I was pushing on the trunk. I could feel it hitting this little snubber, and so this should change that. So that is where the little snubber goes. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but look how much better that looks. That tire is lined up almost perfectly with the fender. Oh gosh, it looks 1,000 times better. Can't wait for it to settle a little bit more, but even right now how it sits, I like the ride height. Alright, that spring's in. Looks good, sitting good, I think. So, on to the next one. This bolt just took me like 30 minutes. I would say it was a 30-minute job. Absolutely ridiculous. Trying to do all this with the arm was tough. I really didn't use the left arm too much, but may have overdone it a little bit, but I think I'm alright. So, how does the lowering look? I think I need to drive it around a little bit. You know, it always settles down a little bit. The back looks good, but maybe that's just because it's settled down now. But the front still looks pretty high up, so we'll see what it looks like in like a couple of weeks. I'll get out and do a little photo shoot with it. So today I am working on taking this pinstriping off. Supposedly it doesn't take that long and you don't damage the car. Fingers crossed. Other project today is getting the house prepped because we have Hurricane Milton coming to town. So I'm gonna try to fit the car in the garage and the boat at the same time. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that is the goal, to fit this and that in this garage for the storm. So I don't know if I showed it, but this is what it looks like after the drop. The way it looks, the wheel spacers back here really give it a good look. It just looks so much meatier from the back than that did. It actually got a lot of compliments at the show too. A lot of people were saying how good it looked. So I've never used one of these before, so I'm a little nervous to mess up the paint. So we're gonna start small and see where it goes from there. Didn't seem to hurt the paint. So it looks better. The door, I mean, I got most of the white off, so it does look a lot better. But I don't know, you know, if you look down it, you can still see the lines. We'll see if I can get that out. Alright, finished product. Looks pretty good. You can definitely see like the line's still there. But it's much better. You step back, you can't really see it. You gotta get right up on it. So I kind of made the mistake of, it's not a bad mistake, it's a good mistake. I took the Rejuvenate, which I used on the car to bring back the paint. But then I was like, let me just put a little bit on my wheel right here. And I was like, oh no, that looks really good. But you can see the rest of the wheel. Like, this is some brake dust here, but the wheel itself is just like not, this stuff doesn't wipe off. But when she put some Rejuvenate on it and hit it with a polish, it's pretty good. So I've already done the other wheels over here. That one's done, which it just looks 100 times better. And then the fronts look even better than that. Like, this thing looks not brand new, but pretty good. So much better, but you can tell the difference. Like, look at this one, and then look at the finish on this one. It's that bad. But just a little bit of love on them, man. It looks, the thing looks great. All right, wheels are completed. This is probably the worst one. But it came out pretty good. They all came out pretty decent. All right, time to hurricane prep. I really hope that I don't come back to a car that's destroyed. Please, I worked way too hard on this thing. All right, we are working on touch-up paint today. I got a bunch of these little tiny rock chips, and I'm gonna try to fill some of them in so they're not so ridiculous. I know it's not gonna look perfect, but hopefully it'll make me happy enough to hold over till the paint's done. So, see how it goes. Definitely from a little bit back, like I can tell, but from right here, I really can't. So I've got this half of the bumper done, which you can see the little bubbles of paint. I'm sure if you catch them in the right light, but from back here, you can't really tell. And then if you come over here, you can definitely see all the little stuff. So I think once I might have to wet sand that, but I don't think you're going to even be able to tell once it's done. So the pen does pretty good. So I totally forgot to start the filming of this, but me and my neighbor Bob were working on it, trying to get this wrap on. It is not easy, that's for sure. If it doesn't work out, either I'm gonna go get somebody to professionally do it or just take it to somebody to paint the roof. But it's getting there. See where it's been done right, like this is done. But all these bubbles, that's just water all in there, so I just gotta push all that water out. And once all that's out, there's actually a film on top that you take off. I thought I scratched the heck out of it a bunch of times, but it's not. It's actually, I'm gonna peel this little corner and there's a film, and I'll just be able to peel the film off. What's up? But I gotta get all of these bubbles out, which is gonna take some time. But I think once I get to that point, I'll be sitting pretty. Finally figured out that this is key. It's just a little plastic scraper, and it looks like I scratched the heck out of it, but that's just a film on top. So I'm getting there. It's just taking a long time, but I think when I'm done, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll look much better than it did. So alright, so I got it all on. I think I got all the bubbles for the most part out, what I can get anyways. All this is about to come off. I'm going to peel off this top layer and we'll see how it looks. We're taking off the film, and man, it looks really good. Sorry, I'm talking with a thing on my mouth. This looks super, super good. So it ain't gonna be perfect, but man, what a difference. Well, I think this is where the video of the Mustang ends for now. I've got it to a point where I feel like it looks good. Eventually, obviously, I got to do paint. I'm definitely going to do wheels. And I don't know about modding the motor. I'm not really sure yet. It's kind of inconclusive on that. Part of me wants to put a blower on it because it sounds so good. Part of me just wants to keep it stock because there's not a lot of these things that are still stock. So we'll see. But I think she looks good. Here's a little B-roll that I shot with my good camera. So thanks for watching, and you know, I'll update when I get some new wheels and maybe a paint job. All right, see you.